Welcome to the Atlas Copco Power Focus tutorial series. In this video, we'll be going over how to create a job using ToolsTalk Power Focus software and a Power Focus SL compact controller. First, I'll connect my controller to my computer via USB. I'll make sure the unit's on, and then I'll go ahead and connect through the software. For this video, we're going to be running down 5 different screws at different Newton meter values. Jobs are helpful for when you have multiple screws or bolts or anything that you need to run down that don't have the same torque value. So instead of having to manually switch P-sets, you can create a job that has all the different P-sets already in there, and it'll automatically switch from one to the other once you've done the amounts of rundowns required. Now that we're here, I'm going to open up my controller and then go to Configuration. Here I'll make sure that I have Ethernet serial selected for both P-set and job, so that I can change the job and the P-set from the software instead of using the controller. Once you've done that, hit Store. Under my P-set tab, you'll see that I have 2 different P-sets created. One that's called 2 Newton meter hard screw joint, and another that's called 3 Newton meter hard screw joint. These are very similar, however they just have different torque values, so that I could tighten these screws down to different values. Underneath the Job tab, you'll see that we don't have any jobs created, so let's right-click and create a new job. I'll leave the job ID at 1, and I'll call this one Demo, and hit OK. Now that we're in our Job menu, we see that we have our 2 different P-sets up here as I mentioned before. Underneath the job list here, this is where we will add our P-sets in the order that they will run in. I'm going to be doing alternating P-sets, so I'll start with P-set 1, and then select Auto Select. If I were to hit Manual Select instead, or change it down here, we would have to manually change between the 2 P-sets on the controller or using the software. I don't want to do that. I want to have it automatically do it, so I'll leave it as Auto Select. Next, I'll select P-set number 2, and then P-set number 1, and then P-set number 2. For the 5th joint in the series, I just want to repeat P-set number 2. Instead of adding it a second time, I can go over to here where it says batch size, click once, and then enter the number 2 and hit enter. Now it will run the last P-set number 2 2 times in a row for our 5th and final joint. Underneath the Configuration tab, we have different options for whether or not we want the order to be forced or free, whether you want to lock the job after it's been done, whether you want to enable the tool to loosen or not, and if you want to repeat the job afterwards. There's also different batch options, as well as line control, and some timing options if you want to set a maximum time that you want the operator to be able to complete this job in before it fails, if it's time sensitive. If you leave the timer at 0, there will be no limits. Once I'm happy with my job, I'll go ahead and hit Store. And we now have this job saved to our controller. Up top where it says Running Job, I'll select that and then select J1, which is Demo, and you'll see it quickly flash on our controller. I want to monitor the job that's in progress, so underneath the Results viewer on the right tab, I'll go down to Job Monitor. And we can see the P-sets that we have in order that we're going to be running down, as well as the 4th one, which has a batch number of 2. I also want to see my traces as they come in live, so I'll open up the trace monitor. And I'll make sure that auto update is checked so that as the batches come in, they'll display automatically. As you see, our status says running, so let's go ahead and begin our job. I'll tighten down the first screw. And you see that step 1 now says done, and we see our trace that we hit 2 Newton meters. Now I'll go to my 2nd screw, and you can see it automatically changed to P-set 2 for us on the controller. This one should come in now at 3 Newton meters instead of 2. And as the trace reflects, we hit our mark. It switched back to P-set 1 for the 3rd one. Excellent. And then back to pset 2 for the fourth. And now since we set our batch count to 2 for this last one, it'll remain on pset number 2. And there you have it. On the controller, we now get a light that says job OK, since we hit all of our marks just where they needed to be. And then up top where it says latest status, it now displays job 1 OK. If I wanted to run the job again, I'd have to go up top and select it again, unless I had changed it to automatically repeat the job if you're on an assembly line that's doing the same process over and over again. And that's how easy it is to set up a job using ToolsTalk Power Focus. That completes this tutorial. We hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to Flexible Assembly for more product news and updates.